With the Birds reporting to training camp literally tomorrow, all eyes remained on rookie Drew Mukuba's contract situation, which we finally just got a resolution to earlier today. Plus, Jihaad Dotson explains his plan to dominate in year 2, Jalen Hurts gets ripped again but has other things to worry about, and Howie's perfect addition just became available. I'm Thomas Mott, this is the Thomas Mott Show. Well, congratulations are in order for every single Eagles fan who finally survived the long dark that is the NFL season. Because despite the fact it was technically a lot shorter for the Super Bowl champions than, say, a team whose season ended early in January, plus the drama that was free agency and, of course, the NFL draft, Philadelphia's 2025 season officially and finally begins this week. The Birds report to training camp on Tuesday morning and will jump right into their first official practice this coming Wednesday. And so to celebrate the official start of the Birds 2025 season, I'm going to preview part of my 100K subscriber giveaway because we're going to do a couple of things, so stay tuned for more announcements. I think I'm going to do some tickets though. We're going to have the details there, but again, subscribe, drop a like, comment to go ahead and enter. We're also going to give away either one of the signed Philly Dogs jerseys here that I have custom for you because they are Super Bowl and they have the dogs in the back and are signed by a couple of the Philly Dogs, or it'll be your choice, one of the Philly Dogs signed official full-size helmets there. We got some fun things besides this to give away, but once we hit 100,000 subscribers, one of you guys is going to win a bunch of cool stuff. Now, before we get to the camp news, I want to go back to the Eagles ring ceremony for just one quick second because despite already covering it on Saturday's video, there are a few new nuggets I just had to share. First, I truly didn't realize just how big these new rings were until I saw it next to the Eagles Super Bowl 52 ring. Like the new one on the right there, it's literally double the size. Which, by the way, in case you're wondering, there are only 4 Eagle players alive who have 2 Super Bowl rings. Brandon Graham, Jake Elliott, Lane Johnson, and Rick Lovato. And also, if you're wondering if the new ring is this big, will they actually wear it in public? Well, friend of the channel, Gary, who was one of the subscribers who took the NovaCare complex earlier this summer, he was texting us yesterday that he ran into Big Dom while working at the Dover NASCAR race over the weekend, and of course, Dom had his ring and was eager to show anybody who asked. The other funny part of the Birds ring ceremony is the fact that we cannot confirm if Jalen Hurts actually put his on at any point. Like literally, there are 0 photos, and there were a bunch of them taken that evening showing Jalen with the ring on. He's just sitting there holding it in the box. Like, does the MVP's ring not fit or something? Or I guess maybe Jalen is just the kind of guy who doesn't want to put it on until he can actually put one ring on every single finger on his right hand. I don't know what it is. Doesn't really shock me if Hurts just doesn't really care about jewelry and only cares about getting the next one, which drop a like for that. Either way, kind of weird we have not seen Jalen Hurts put his Super Bowl ring on. Of course, if you care about getting your hands on one of the official Eagle Championship rings, our friends at the Eagles Dotson Foundation are going to give one Bird fan a chance to win one actual legit authentic piece of jewelry via a giveaway that they're going to announce later on this week. Not sure how you have to enter. I'll keep my eye on it. I'll let you guys know, but technically, this is your only shot to actually get a real ring. Also, I want to give a massive shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Maeve. A few months back, my wife and I started giving our 7-year-old golden retrievers Maeve's raw human-grade food instead of their ultra-processed kibble, and honestly, we are never going back. This is Blue, now every single night about 25 minutes before his dinner time, literally begging for his Maeve. He did not used to do this. And of course, once you actually see the ingredients of Maeve, you'll understand why Blue wants it so bad. Maeve is a human-grade raw food diet made with real whole ingredients you can actually see in the bag. No fillers, no sketchy meat byproducts, and no prep. Just pour and serve. It's protein-rich, flash-frozen to lock in nutrients, and packed with lean meats, organ meats, fresh produce, and gut-friendly supplements. And again, our dogs have been on Maeve for a couple of months now, and we've already noticed some insane changes, including the most notable one, their energy levels. They went from sleeping all day long to now constantly wanting to play with each other, run around outside, and go for their evening walks. And these dogs are 7 years old. They're not supposed to be this young and energetic, and yet Blue and Ember have now turned back the clock seemingly, 2 or 3 years? Oh, and little side note here, Blue insisted that I mention that Maeve has a hip and joint supplement, as well as free dried liver treats that he absolutely loves. Just look at the drool on the side of his face. He wants these every single day. So if you're a dog parent like us and want to upgrade your pup's health, then check out Maeve via the link down below right now in my description box. Scan the QR code somewhere over here and use promo code Thomas to get 20% off your first order. Trust me, try it out. Your dogs will thank you. Moving over to the big news that just dropped literally a couple of minutes ago as of filming this, the Philadelphia Eagles have officially signed second-round draft pick Drew Mukuba just one day before the start of training camp. As of now, we don't know the details, which was part of the long wait as Mukuba was likely holding out for a little bit more guaranteed money than the Birds wanted, but my guess is once the numbers officially come out, he probably receives something north of 65% of his contract fully guaranteed. And while there was truly never anything to worry about here, he was not going to hold out for an extended period of time, maybe a day or two. It's still nice to see and crazy to think about how long it did take for this contract to get done, but also sit back and go, hey, it's done, nothing to worry about. Just for example, Cam Jurgens during his rookie year was considered a late signer of his contract, but he inked that on July 2nd. Pretty wild to compare. Time will of course tell exactly what Philadelphia has in Drew Mukuba and really how quickly can he actually contribute in the safety position, but his answer to Dave Spadaro on Eagles.com a few weeks ago when asked what fans can expect from him is really enough for me. Quote, there are guys like Budda Baker, Brian Branch, who are similar in size to me, and they have been guys I've kind of patterned myself after. I'm going to be aggressive and smart and play with everything I have, all my heart. I have a lot of energy, and I've always had energy, and so for me to go out on the field and have fun, it's kind of like being in the park with your friends, playing ball, and being physical and helping my team win. That's all that really matters, helping the Eagles win. And of course, signing this deal is a minor win for the Philadelphia Eagles because this was the one lone tiny possible distraction for the Birds entering camp. But now it's been officially squashed as every single draft pick is not only signed, but likely healthy too. Jihaad Campbell pending, which all this simply helps to further showcase just how far ahead the Bergs organization is right now than really anyone else in the league. This team is drama-free, healthy, and firing on all cylinders entering training camp tomorrow. Now, flying back to training camp, and the schedule for this week is as follows. Tuesday, simply show up, all the Birds players will, sometime in the AM, where they'll check in, get their gear, and complete their initial physical just to make sure they're in the best shape possible. Which, spoiler alert, 90% of players should be in peak physical form. I don't really expect any exceptions. Wednesday, though, is day one of practice, probably around 10 a.m., which will be very light, nothing crazy here, and most importantly, padless. So expect a ton of videos of individual drills and players running routes against air, and of course, guys punching foam practice dummies. Wednesday will, however, be our first chance to check out the health of guys like Cam Jurgens, Jihaad Campbell, and Nakobe. I'm thinking we're going to get a good update there. Then, of course, right back to work after the one day off. Expect 4 to 5 practices next week, and the pads are definitely going to come on. Moving over to one player I expect to excel, either in pads or not, just overall in training camp this month, it has to be wide receiver Jahan Dotson, who fans forget did not officially join the Birds roster until August 22nd of last year. It's like 2 weeks before the official start of week 1 of the NFL season. Well, of course, we know Dotson contributed in a big way at times late in the year. The former first-round draft pick was on with our friend Josh Davis over the weekend, and want to remind everybody in the NFL that a full offseason in the Bird system is going to work wonders to his game.
Oh my gosh. Like, you have no idea. This is my first training camp with the Eagles. And it's crazy to think about that being said because, I spent the entire 18 weeks with the Eagles last year. So, it's awesome. I'm super excited for it. OTAs went great. It was a great chance for me to build my relationship, build my trust with Jalen, as I did that during the season last year. But it was tough. It was definitely a challenge last year for sure. Being that I came in about 6 days before we were heading to Brazil. But it was something that I definitely I wouldn't change it. It was a special journey that I got to embark on. Like everything happens for a reason. We were just talking about this the other day. I was actually talking to Kenny Pickett. I was down in Ocean Township throwing with him yesterday, and we were talking about this. Like I wouldn't take any of it. I wouldn't change any of it. Honestly, because everything happens for a reason. I came out of this a Super Bowl champ, and it is awesome. But it is really cool to be able to spend an entire off season with the team that I'm going to be with, and getting to build the trust with the teammates and the quarterback. So I'm excited.
Well, of course, over the next couple of weeks, I'm sure I'll cover Anai Smith's progress and Johnny Wilson's progress and the other kind of fringe wide receivers because, it's important to see who actually makes the roster. We cannot count out Jahan Dotson and what the Eagles offense could truly be and can truly be if you get 2021, 2022, rookie year Jahan Dotson is what I mean here. If his performance level rises, the Birds offense, RIP to any defenders out there trying to stop it. Also, RIP to the rest of the league if Philadelphia decides to pull the trigger on newly released Seahawks tight end Noah Fant, who was due $8 million in non-guaranteed money this year in Seattle, and instead yesterday got the axe right before camp. And while I know, trust me, Bird fans seem to rush to link any and all free agents / trade targets to Philadelphia, Fant does make a ton of sense for a bevy of reasons. First off, the Eagles tight end depth chart, as you guys know, is full of unknowns. Like behind Goedert, the list of legit pass-catching tight ends on this roster is very unproven. I mean, even guys like Grant Calcaterra, who I like, massive question mark. Fant, on the other hand, has multiple impressive seasons at 2 different organizations where, sure, he technically underperformed based on where he was drafted, but is still a legit pass-catching threat and also a good run-blocking weapon as well. He would instantly become the second best tight end on this roster the day he signed. Plus, Noah Fant is 27 years old, younger than Dallas Goedert, and has been a lot healthier because Goedert has never really played a full season his entire career in Philadelphia. I mean, legit, every single year Goedert's been in the Eagles, and I love Dallas Goedert, by the way, he has not gotten close to playing a full season, playing just 10 games in 2024, 14 in 2023, 12 in 2022, 15 in 2021, and only 11 in 2020. Like the rest of the tight ends on this roster, Goedert is not signed after this season. I mean, Philadelphia must either extend him again over the age of 30 next year or figure out some sort of replacement. Now, I do think Fant will try and find a home where he can compete instantly for a starting job. Every single free agent guy at this point in the offseason tries to, but Philadelphia does love 12 personnel. With Goedert's injury history, Noah could do a lot worse than the defending Super Bowl champions, and, oh, did I mention, he's going to be cheap. Now, over the weekend, there was another anti-Jalen Hurts take, which a bunch of you guys DM me on Twitter. It was done by Cam Newton, and I thought to myself, I'm not going to put this on the Monday show because we talked a lot about the Jalen Hurts haters over the offseason. Doesn't matter. It's not going to affect anything. But then I watched the Cam Newton rant. It's about a minute and a half, and I said, you know what? I'm going to make you guys watch it too.
And I know everybody's going to get mad at this. Cam hating on Jalen Hurts. It's hard for me to grade Jalen Hurts with the talent that he has around him. Jalen Hurts is a great quarterback. But if we're talking about what they bring to the table holistically, it's hard to judge what Jalen Hurts can do when you're throwing to a guy like A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. When you have tight end skill set, you have a dominant defense, the best running back in the game. Download Madden and see how many stars is on the offensive side of Philly. Like you got King Henry, Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, those guys, that's cool. But when you're comparing, Lamar Jackson still shows you why he's an elite player. Josh Allen has to play elite in order for them to play. Lamar Jackson has to play at a high level for the Baltimore Ravens, even though that they have a dominant defense. Patrick Mahomes, he got a lot of talent, but boy, oh boy, you can't put no John Doe in Patrick Mahomes and think that they still gonna win the way they win it. I understand that. Jalen Hurts does not have to play elite for the Philadelphia Eagles to win. He has to play good, but he doesn't have to play elite. We're not asking you to win the game. We're just asking you not to lose it. When you ask that question, are we winning because of you, solely because of you, or is it the resources around you? So game changer, game manager, those are the things that you have to ask yourself. And those are the metrics that I'm going off of. It's like, bro, even when the tush push, you got 5 people pushing you, bro. You got a solid group around you, dog. And the man who Jalen Hurts is, bro, I respect him. I take my hat off to him. But just because he's a great guy, that don't mean I can't critique his game.
Yeah, well, do with that as you will. It's a classic Cam Newton take here. Although, thankfully, I don't really have to respond because Terrell Owens, of all people, already did on Instagram and ripped Cam Newton to shreds, saying, quote, "You would be judging him if he had all of that and wasn't playing well. This is a Skip Bayless type of statement with dreads. Don't be mad at Jalen because he makes great decisions. Maybe had you made the decision to jump on that ball, just maybe, y'all will say anything to go viral. This isn't it, Cam." I think the last part of that is the main point here. It sure seems like the way to go viral this offseason is to simply rip Jalen Hurts. Whether you're at ESPN or a local beat writer or a radio host or just someone on Twitter, attack the defending Super Bowl MVP and you might just get some clicks. The problem though is, contrary to the old saying, all publicity is not good publicity if you're making stupid statements. Oh, and just speaking to Cam Newton here, now before we finish, I want to put a PSA to all of my followers who are eager to watch every coming video about training camp and just say this. There is going to be a lot of differentiating news the next couple of months because training camp is a day-to-day process. There's going to be days where Jalen looks good, and we'll talk about that. Jalen will look bad. We'll talk about that. This rookie looks great. This rookie looks bad. This guy gets hurt. This guy's not hurt. There's going to be so much ebb and flow to training camp that just take it all with a massive grain of salt. If Johnny Wilson dominates day 1 and then stinks in day 2, or if someone plays great in a preseason game but stinks during training camp, I'm going to cover it all here, but one bad practice or one good practice does not make or break somebody's season. What we are looking for, especially with who's starting where and who's looking good here and there, is trends that continue to go in the same direction. If one person starts at safety and does that for multiple weeks in a row, that's a trend that's important to follow. If one guy starts here, another guy starts here, one guy plays good here, another guy plays bad here, that's not exactly a trend. I'll still cover it because it's the news and you guys want to know this, but training camp is something we must take with a massive grain of salt. And so, training camp starting. I just want to go ahead and warn you. That being said, make sure to go ahead and subscribe. I want to give away this stuff as soon as possible. We're going to hit 100,000 subs faster than you guys think. Hit the red subscribe button. Hopefully you guys can go ahead and win. Drop a like. Ton of fun stuff. Plus tickets. We're going to do tickets here at some point. I'm Thomas Mott. Pumped for this week. We're finally here. Congratulations, you guys. This has been the Thomas Mott Show.